There we go. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I was about to say good morning and then I realized it's not the morning. I've lost the plot. Perfect. We are here for a little full body stretch and reset today with a little bit of foam rolling as well. So have we all got a foam roller or tennis ball equivalent of a foam roller? Are we all happy? Yes, yes, yes. People are waving foam rollers at me. Great. Perfect. Other than that, we just need to make sure we've got a cushion and also your strap or dressing gown band or whatever you're using, and also make sure you've got some water nearby as well. I've just popped in the chat the link to the playlist that we're going to be using for today's session. It's just really nice and chill. If you are using it, suggest starting from the beginning, and if you're going to use it, press play now for me. Hopefully my sound is working. Yep, there's at least one victory for my day. Perfect. We are going to start over on our mats, cross-legged, guys, with our eyes closed down. Feel free to take that cushion and pop it underneath the bum to make it a little bit comfier for you. And once you reach your seated position, just close those eyes down, switching off from the day that you've had, the week of training that we have done together, and also tuning out of anything going on around you for the next 45 minutes. Try and close the door of the room you're in, even turn the lights off if you want, so that you can just concentrate on the stretching we're here to do. Now, moving your hands to your knees, just roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears for me and all the way back, allowing any clicks and cracks to take place. And now we're seated chest proud, tilting the chin down to the chest, just having a little stretch through the back of the neck. Feel free to bring the hands up to the head and apply a little bit of pressure to the back of the head if you wish. Of course, you can keep your hands on the knees if you'd prefer. Well done. And looking back up, we're just going to tilt the head over to the right hand side, taking the right arm up onto the head and giving it a little bit of pressure to increase that stretch. Try and make sure that that left shoulder is nice and soft, and that's going to help increase that stretch for you as well. Nice deep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And releasing, tilting the head over to the left hand side. Left hand comes up and over. And with an exhale, slowly tilting the head over to the side. Well done, guys. And coming back to center, we're going to take the hands behind the back, interlink the fingers, and chest proud coming forwards. A nice stretch all the way through that chest. Throw that head back and really open up those lungs as wide as you can. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, releasing back off to center. Give everything a little bit of a shake. Well done. We're going to take the left leg out to the side. The right leg stays in. Now, you may find it a little comfier at this point to actually remove your cushion if you're using one, but completely up to you based on whatever is more comfortable for where you are. Perfect. We're going to take those hands up over the head. The left one's going to come down to the side, and we're just going to come over to that left hand side, taking a nice deep stretch down the side, opening up the lung on that right hand side, and trying to imagine all the breath filling that lung and starting to relax that body down. Well done. Coming up to center, arms come up in front of us. We're going to turn so that the body faces the foot. Now the arms have come up because they're going to help us with our stretch to make sure we don't round through the back. So the first thing we're going to do is keep those arms out in front of us, but lower the chest down slightly until you start to feel a stretch in the back of that hamstring. And when you reach a point where you're feeling that nice stretch, then lower those hands for me. And that just means that we've kept the back nice and flat and we're not hunched over as we've been doing it. Now, option here, if you wish to just use those hands to push through the shins, massage away any tension that you might have there. And while we're here, try and tilt those toes up towards the forehead a little bit more, and that's just going to increase that stretch for you as well. Bring the hands to a rest either on the knee, the shin, or the foot. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, just sink a little lower. And we're just going to stay here for another 10 seconds. Well done, guys. And in 3, 2, and 1, lifting yourself back up. Bring that left leg in and send the right leg out to the side. Well done. When we're ready, the arms are going to come up. Right arm down to the side, and we're going to tilt over to that right hand side, stretching all the way through the left hand side of the body. Remembering that nice deep breathing. Breathing into that left lung especially. Feeling some relaxation from opening up that side of the body. And gently coming back to center. We're going to lift those arms up again in front of us. Turn it over to that right hand side and lower that chest to begin with. So slowly the chest comes down. And when you start to feel that stretch in the back of the hamstring, release the hands down onto the leg. And as we were before, you can use the hands to massage a little bit through the shins here if you wish. And just try and tilt the toes as far back towards that forehead as you can. You can always use the hand to help you here. Or if you've got a band nearby, you can even wrap your band and use that to pull. That's just going to help increase the stretch that we feel. And bringing those hands to a gentle stop now, wherever they are. Taking a deep breath in. And on the exhale, just sinking a little lower into the stretch. And we're going to stay here for 10. Remember to keep that breathing going. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Up we come. Well done. Taking the other leg out to join. Don't worry about how wide the legs are at all. Doesn't matter one bit. We're just going to start to stretch through the lower back and the hips slightly. So to begin with, just shake off those knees to make sure that we're not kind of tight to the floor. A little bend in the knees is absolutely fine. And we're just going to bring those hands up again. Start lowering that chest. And when you reach a point where you start to feel that stretch in the back of the hamstrings, lower the hands to the floor, start to lower the chest a little bit more, drop the elbows, and walk the hands forward just a tad. And you should feel a nice stretch, not only down the backs of the hamstrings, but also now into the inside of those thighs. And also maybe a little bit into those hips as well. Feel free to wiggle as you need. If you're super flexible, you might have your head on the floor right now, but I definitely don't. Well done. I'm just going to walk those hands now over towards the left foot, moving that stretch more deeply into that left hand leg and staying here for 10 or so seconds. Well done. A few nice deep breaths. And then walking all the way over to the right hand side and holding on that right hand side. Well done, guys. Remember, keep breathing. As we always say, without oxygen, those muscles are not going to relax. Well done. And when you're ready, just rise yourself gently back up to center. Well done. Give those legs a bit of a shake off. And we're coming up onto our tabletop position. Now, just grab yourself a sip of water if you want to have a little break here. Realize I've still got my jumper on. I didn't take that off because otherwise you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. Now, it is time for me to say make sure those foam rollers are nearby. I'm sorry in advance. Perfect. So just make sure your foam roller is within reaching distance, and we're going to come up into that tabletop position. Feel free to slide that cushion underneath the knees if you want for a little bit of comfort. Hands should be directly under the shoulders and knees directly under the hips. Now, we always start with a little bit of mobility through the spine when we move to this position. So as usual, we're going to work through our cat-cows. So for those of you who haven't joined before, that's going to be breathing in, bringing the belly button up, tail down to the floor, forehead back and looking through the legs, and then gradually pushing through, bringing the shoulder blades together, bum goes up towards the sky and belly button down towards the floor. Now we work through these our own pace. We're going to be going for around a minute and just finding any spots which feel a little bit niggly or a little bit upset. And when you find one, just stay there and gradually work into it. Perhaps you're really comfy in one position, but you want to add a bit of a rotation from side to side. That's absolutely fine. Whatever your body needs. Just starting to bring a little bit of motion to that spine that connects the upper and lower. Nice work, guys. Carry on. Just going to come check that we're all okay. Nice, guys. Well done, Rach. Nice, Emily. All four of you. Bluminette, that's confusing today. Sorry, I just made everyone laugh. I was looking at one Emily in particular, but you know, I just have to say Emily now, so all good. Keep it going. And when you're done, one final move, and we're going to bring those feet together, knees wide, remove that cushion and sit back into our child's pose. Forehead down to the floor, stretching those fingers out in front, bum back towards those heels. Nice deep breathing. I'm just going to work through a couple of shoulder stretches here. So we're going to take the right hand through underneath the left shoulder, comes to the floor. Oh, that's tight. And we're just going to take a nice deep stretch through that right shoulder. Now the left arm can either stay out in front, you can just relax it a little, or it can come up and over the back to open up the chest a little bit if you fancy. But wherever is comfortable for you is what we're after today. This session is all about your body. So if there's any stretch that doesn't feel quite right, or you feel like you want to take it deeper, or maybe a little bit less, then just listen to that and adjust. And bring that right arm back through. We're going to take the left through now under the right, exactly the same. Stretching nice and deep through that shoulder. Well done. Try and make sure that bum is still as far back towards the heels as possible. And remember, option to bring that right hand up and over the back if you wish. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, And one, bring it through. We're going to tuck our toes, push that bum up towards the sky into our downward dog. Now, this is the first one that we've done. We've done a little bit of hamstring stretching, so they might feel a bit better, but feel free to pedal through if you need. Or, of course, if you want to plant those heels, just remember to keep a little bit of a bend in the knee and looking through the legs back towards the wall or whatever is behind you. Taking a nice deep breath in and out. Remember, keep breathing if you keep walking if you wish. And we're going to slowly bring that left foot forwards in between those hands. Lower the right knee and come up to our kneeling position. Well done. Great. Okay. I'm sorry, it's happening. Grab those foam rollers for me, guys. First off, we're going to work through the right hand side. So that left knee is going to come back to join. Grab your cushion if you want to try and make it a bit comfy. Lifting up the body, we're going to come onto the outside of the right, quad. Elbow down to the floor. Your left leg kind of bends up in front of you to the side of the foam roller. And then you should be able to use that to gradually push yourself backwards and forwards. Now, for those of you who were in our foam rolling workshop a while back, you might remember that slow and steady is the best way with these things. If you come across an area which goes, oh, ouch, stay there and just gently roll over that spot for about 10 or 15 seconds or until you feel it relax off. And then carry on nice and slowly all the way up and down from hip to knee. Oh, that's very tight. Hopefully your faces are all as bad as mine right now, because otherwise I'm going to look really silly. Well done, guys. Promise you it's just quad foam rolling today. That's it, I promise. Nice and slowly does it. If you need to come off at any point and give it a shake, that's absolutely fine. And we're just going to go for one final roll, whichever direction you're going in, all the way from bottom to top or top to bottom. Well done. And when you reach the bottom, just come up onto those hands, whoop, relax the knee off and bring the left leg back. And now I'm going to do exactly the same on the left hand side. I'm just going to switch sides so you can still see what's going on, but you guys stay where you are. So we're going to come down onto the left forearm and bring the left outside of the leg onto the foam roller. Again, that right leg is going to come up across the front, so it helps to push us backwards and forwards. And we're just going to slowly start working in to hello to that left quad. Well done, guys. Remember, if you find a point that starts screaming at you, just stay there for a little bit, rolling gently up and down it until you feel it relax off, and then move on to the next little section. Well done. And as always, breathing is super important. Feel free to lower the right knee down to the floor if that helps a little bit, rather than the foot perhaps. So going from here down to here. It's all about finding a position that's comfortable for you. Comfortable as it can be. Maybe I should have said that. And wherever you are now, we're just going to take one final roll, either up or down, from the knee to the hip or the hip to the knee. And once you reach the top or the bottom, Just lift yourself off that roller and you can get rid of it. That's it. There you go. Promise you it was only a little bit. Perfect. We're going to come back now to that kneeling position we started in. So get yourself back to where you were and pop your left foot up in front of you. As I mentioned, feel free to use that cushion as a bit of support for your knee if you're on a harder floor. I'm just going to work into this left hip a little bit to begin with. So we're just going to bend through into that hip joint and back. Now you can take the leg out to the side, you can bring it in, you can take it forwards. The idea is to just kind of loosen it off a little bit and start mobilizing that joint before we come into some really nice and deep hip stretches. Well done. Honestly, I think my favorite thing to say on this class might be, well done, Emily, because it's just cracking me up. Perfect. Well done. And when you're ready, just coming back to center, we're going to turn around, take the right foot into the hand, or if you need, grab at your band to just pull it up in towards the glute instead, whichever method you want to use. And then we're slowly going to work into a deep quad stretch down the front of that right leg. Now, as always, we have the option to bend a little bit further forward onto that left leg, and that's going to increase that stretch down the front of the right quad a little bit more. But please listen to your body and whatever you need from this one today. Nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Holding for another 10. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing that foot down to the floor. I'm going to take the left foot over to the right hand side of the mat. The knee is going to come over to the left hand side of the mat. You know where this is going. Bring that cushion up to the front, and we're going to lower into our really nice and deep pigeon. So you can either be up on your hands, that's totally fine, or down on those forearms, or if you're feeling very, very, very flexible today, feel free to have a little nap on your pillow. That's totally cool. If you fall asleep, I will try and wake you up somehow. We're going to stay here for about a minute. So just really try and relax all that tension away from the joint. Perhaps you can feel that you're tensing your bum cheek or that you're tensing your thigh a little bit. Just try and let it go and melt softly into the floor. Really stretching through that hip, through that left glute. Keep it breathing. Well done, guys. Feel free to kind of sway backwards and forwards if you need. Holding for another 15. Well done. And in 3, 2, and 1, coming back up onto those hands and come back into that kneeling position. Have a little sip of water if you like. Little break. And we're going to come up now, bring the right leg forward and in front of us. And just whenever you're ready, no rush, start moving into that nice mobility in that right hip. Forwards, out to the side, inwards, round in circles, whatever you need perhaps going clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Well done. And when you're ready, we're going to, I'm just going to slide my cushion under before I regret not. We are going to turn to that left-hand side, pick up the left foot, either using the hand, or for those of you using a band, just wrap the foot in it and use that as a lever to bring it up, like so. Perfect. And then we're going to bring it in until you start to feel that stretch in the front of the left quad. That's the front of the leg. Now remember, this is going to be a different place for everyone. And if you want, the option is there to bend slightly forward as well. And that's just going to help you feel it even more down the front of the leg. Well done. Great work. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing that leg off. Cushion is going to come up to the front. That right foot is going over to the left-hand side of the mat, the knee down to the right-hand side. And we are going into that pigeon on the opposite side. So just wiggle yourself into place. And once again, either staying up on those hands, coming down onto the forearms, or having your little nap on the pillow if you wish. Now, again, just really try and focus on this right-hand side, relaxing. That is the key. We want it to relax. We don't want this stretch to cause tension. So just keep breathing through the stretch. And if you feel anything tensing up, just try and loosen it off. I'm going to be staying here for just over another 30 seconds. So if you want to close your eyes down, do so. Well done. Great work, guys. And in 3, 2, and 1. Coming back onto those hands, sorry. Ooh, and then coming back up into our kneeling position. Grab yourself a little sip of water before we go into the next little bit of our stretch. And when you're ready, just join me in child's pose once again. So knees out to the side, feet together, and lying down onto that mat. Nice deep breaths in and out. In and out. Well done, guys. We can tuck those toes and bring ourselves onto a plank position this time. Lower those knees down, then lower that chest to the floor. And then we're going to have those hands either side of the chest and use them to push ourselves up into that cracked, I can't even speak. Up into our cobra. Now, as I've said in previous weeks, if you're looking for more of a core stretch, then keep those legs narrow. But if you want to stretch through the front of the hips, if you widen those legs out a little bit, that's going to push it down into the front of those hips for you. Whatever you need. And then we're going to tuck those toes, bum up to the sky into our downward dog once more. So we should feel a little bit more relaxed here now. Perhaps you're able to keep the feet flat, or if you do need to still keep walking them, that is absolutely fine. Come see how we're going. Well done, Rach. Nice, Emma. And all 4 Emilys looking cracking. Well done. Remember that breathing. And we're going to slowly bring those knees down to the floor. Swivel the legs around in front of us. Shuffle forwards. Grab that cushion, bring it back behind you. Legs are going to go out in front. And once again, we're going to lift those hands up parallel to our legs. A little bit of a bend in those knees. If it helps, you can actually pop your cushion under the knees to help you with that. Lower that chest towards the thighs. And when you start to feel that stretch in the backs of the legs, lower those hands to the resting place. Now, you might want to use them to help you bring those toes back towards the forehead, which is going to help increase that stretch. If you have a band nearby, you can also use that to help with this. So just wrap it around the bottom of the feet and use it to pull them towards you. You can do this 1 foot at a time if you find that a little bit easier. We're going to be staying here for a little while, so feel free to do 1 foot and then the other if you wish. Try not to have any tension in those shoulders. Try and relax them off if you can. Keeping that breathing going. Well done. If you're working one side, move over to the other now for me. Another 10 seconds here. And in 4, 3, 2, and 1, release those hands off. Give those knees a little bit of a shake out. And we're going to shuffle that bum down and lie down onto that back, head onto the cushion. And we're going to start with our feet flat and our knees bent. And we're going to put 1 hand on the belly, 1 hand on the chest. And all we're going to do is take some nice deep breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you breathe out through the mouth, try and let the body sink into that mat. Breathing away all of that week from the body. And creating space for a new week and new challenges. Well done. And when you're ready, just going to windscreen wiper those legs from left to right. So at the same time, both knees go over to the left-hand side, up and over to the right-hand side. And just switching between as we start to work through the back a little. Well done. And coming back to center, I'm just going to bring those knees up into the chest, wrapping our arms around them. And we're just going to rock from side to side really slowly, just using the floor underneath us to kind of massage through the back and spine. If you tip over, don't worry at all. It's fine. I often tip over. Well done. Side to side, nice and slow. Just taking comfort in feeling that floor massaging its way into the back. Last couple of sways from side to side. And coming back to center. Hold on, I'm just going to release those legs down to the floor, all the way flat this time. And the arms just come out to the side. Get yourself nice and comfy. We're going to take those hands up overhead, so interlink the fingers and take them above the head. And at the same time, we're just going to point those toes, tense those glutes, tense those quads, stretch those hands away from us, stretching out that body from top to bottom, tensing absolutely everything, and releasing off and sinking down into that mat once more. Well done, guys. Okay, we're going to take the right hand out to the right hand side. The left hand is going to take a hold of the outside of the right knee. Turning the head to face the right hand side, we're then going to bring the right leg over to the left into our spinal twist. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite stretches, which you probably know. But if you do hear any cracks coming from the back, don't worry. It's perfectly normal. I'm just holding here. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Release everything off. Left arm out to the side. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Turning to look towards that left hand, we bring the left knee over to the right hand side this time. Stretching through that spine with some really nice deep breathing. Well done. And if you want to repeat either side, then we're just going to have a minute now for you to work through wherever in that spine you feel like you need to rotate. So either stay where you are, move back to the other side, or move between both of the stretches that we've just done. Whatever you feel your back needs. Now, perhaps you're tighter on the left, so you want to spin over to the right. Just use this minute to work through your requirements, what your body needs, especially through that back. Well done, guys. When you tip over to one side, maybe you want to bring that knee up into the chest, just for something a little bit different. Just another 10 seconds, and then we're going to move back to center. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet flat to the floor again. Put the hands flat to the floor as well. Now we're just going to work through one glute bridge, which is going to help to just counteract what we've just done. So pushing those feet into the floor, we're going to lift that pelvis up and away from us and stretch through that back. Now, different to usual with our glute bridges, feel free to push above the normal range of motion just to counteract that stretch, and bring those hands up into the shallow of the back if you wish, just to provide a little bit more. And lowering back down. We're going to take the right foot over the left leg, reaching through that gap between the legs, bringing it back in towards us and working into our glute stretch. Nice deep breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And with every exhale, just think, do I want this to be a little bit deeper? Do I want to stretch a little bit more? And if the answer is yes, just try and lever it slightly closer in towards the chest. Well done, guys. Holding here. Closing those eyes down now, if you haven't already, as we enter the final few moments of today's class. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that left foot down to the floor. Uncross the right. Bring the left over onto the right leg. And reaching through the gap. Bring it in to stretch through that left glute. Again, every exhale is an opportunity to increase that stretch if you wish to. If you're happy where you are, then stay there. If you wish to increase, just bring that knee. Use it to lever a little bit closer in towards the body. Keeping the breathing nice and steady. Holding for another 10. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing that leg off. Just give those legs a little bit of a shake. Maybe you want to go back into your windscreen wiper, side to side, just to wiggle them off. And once you're done, just close those eyes down. Put your hands to either side of you. Now, the legs can either stay bent or you can flatten them all the way down to the floor. Perhaps you want to bring the feet together and allow the legs to kind of sink out to the side. That's fine, whatever you feel is right for your body in this moment. And closing those eyes down. Moving one hand to the stomach. One hand to the chest. We're just going to spend one final minute tuning out and tuning into ourselves and our breathing, goals we want to set for our training for the week ahead. And when it's time to come out, I will come back and let you know. And if those legs are bent, just slowly walk them away from you now so that they're flat to the floor. Gradually bringing a few wiggles to the toes and the fingers. Bending those legs up as we roll over to one side into a nice fetal position. And keeping those eyes closed down. If you're ready, and only if, using those hands to push you up to a cross-legged seated position. Try and cross the legs the opposite way to the way that you normally would. This will just make the body feel a little lighter. If you're staying on the floor, that's absolutely fine. Keep those eyes closed down. Feel free to stay there. As together, we just move through one final breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, just blinking those eyelids gently open. And welcome back. I need to grab my water very quickly, and then I'm going to come on over. How are we doing? Are we feeling very zen? I need a nap. Oh, I look like I need a nap as well. How did we find today's stretch, guys? All good? Have we found anything that really niggles? Did we hate the foam rolling, or was it bearable? Fab. You are so welcome, Emma. It's been lovely to see you guys today. And also, we have new Emily here on the call. So new Emily, give us a wave. There we go. This is new Emily, everyone. So for everyone who has been in the group, which I think you guys are all in the group, Emily is joining us from tomorrow. So good luck for all of your training from tomorrow, Emily, from all of us at Passa as well. We are taking a little week off from Stretch and Reset next week, as apparently there's something called a bank holiday weekend, and this means that you guys want to go to the pub, which is fair. So we will be back the week after that, when the lovely Claire will actually be taking the session. I actually won't be here that week as I am moving house. So Claire will be taking charge of the session. So you will have yoga with the lovely Claire. But don't worry, all details will be shared in due course. And if anyone has got any questions or anything, I will stay on the call now. But for everyone else, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening and have a fabulous final few hours of your weekend. Bye, guys. Bye.
Thank you.